Well, good evening, and welcome to Belgium for round 4 of the NXTGEN PowerMax Racing Season 19 WTCR League. As mentioned, we are here at the Circuit of Zolder in North East Belgium. It's about 80 kilometres east of the capital of Belgium in Brussels. Has hosted many of World Touring Car races over the years, many Formula 1 races, many Blancpain GT races. It's a very, very popular venue, but sadly it will only ever be the second most famous track in Belgium, of course. Spa-Francorchamps being the more popular of the two. I don't think the guys working at Zolder would like me saying that, but hey-ho. So this is round 4 tonight of the NXTGEN PowerMax Racing Series. Nearly halfway, but we're here at the past the 30% marker, with things really hottening up when it comes to the championship, which we'll go through now. Actually, just a bit of housekeeping to get things going. So this is the top 10 in the championship coming out of last week's round at Road America. So Gurunyan comes out as championship leader, rising from 4th to 1st throughout the meeting. Horne maintains 2nd place with a fast slap in race 2, but no race win from him last week. It was a little bit of a below par performance from Lee last week, but he still maintains a good position in the championship. Ben Walker, after a miserable meeting last week, no offence Ben, but it wasn't anywhere near his potential. Drops to 3rd place. You can see 2 times last week he finished outside the top 10, and in race 3 he was under a lot of pressure, let's just say, but came through in 4th. Hangs on to the battle for the lead in the championship, which is between the 3 cars at the top there. Only 11 points separating them at the moment. 4th place rocketed up from 8th, I believe. William Four with a brilliant meeting last time out, winning race 1, fast slap in race 1, fast slap in race 2, and nearly winning it. Just couldn't quite catch Jeff Purkis in the 3rd race. But our driver of the day last week had a disappointing race 2 where he was battling with Alexander Jacobsen through one corner, made contact and ended up getting a puncture. It was no one's fault in the end, but it did drop William down to 17th place. Fraser Austin finished 5th. Fraser Austin is 5th in the championship after taking pole position at Road America. Not a great start, but a pretty decent meeting from him gets him up to 5th place in the championship. Jonas Lindberg, Mr. Consistent as ever, a good strong 2nd place and another top 5 placing in race 1, and staying in the top 10 for race 3. Jonas up to 6th place in the championship. It's a good start to the season from him, not far away from the 2 guys in front of him. Jeff Purkis, with his opening win of the season, is in 7th place there. Jamie Dory did not attend. He drops from 3rd to 8th with the one meeting he's missed out on. There are drop rounds, but he cannot afford to miss another one. I don't think he's here tonight. Oh no, he is here tonight, so I do beg your pardon. Jamie Dory is racing tonight, but he cannot miss another one, otherwise he will miss out on championship potential later on in the season. I'm not sure when the drop rounds will be applied, but I'm sure we'll find out as time goes by. Justin Welbel have taken his maiden win of the season. We've had 8 different winners in 9 races this season. Justin Welbel being the 7th. Yes, the 7th of the 8. He goes into 9th in the championship. He's also missed a round this season, so he'll surely rise up the order once the drop rounds are applied. And Orgu Zagan with an impressive 10th in the championship at the moment. We'll breeze through the rest as we're going to be moving on to practice very, very soon. Neil Crave in 11th, Alexander Jacobsen in 12th, Arnaldo Guedes in 13th, Arnold Chenonier in 14th. He is a previous race winner back at Brands Hatch. Roy Plummer in 15th, Matthew Addy in 16th, Jürgen Matby Pedersen in 17th. Emil Holmberg missed out last week, is in 18th. 19th, Stephen de Gravelia, who's at home this week. So, yeah, he only lives about 80 kilometres down the road, near Brussels, so a bit of a homecoming for him tonight, see if he could do well. And 20th, I've been pronouncing this guy's name wrong the whole time, but I think I've got it right now, and it's Albin Hjulgren in 20th place. And then the final 6 drivers, 21 to 26. Chris Needham on his debut last time out had an impressive day out. Jack Taylor in 22nd, Per-Andrew Sturla in 23rd, Alex Ward in his debut 24th, Matt Emmons 25th, and Eunice Carbide in 26th. But the championship positions decides your ballast as well. So first place in the championship being Zariah Gurunyan. He will take 60 kilos of ballast, and it will drop by 6 per championship placing. So Oguzagan has the least amount of ballast, that carries ballast anyway, of 6 kilos. He's there in 10th place. So we'll be moving on to qualifying very soon. I know it's set at the time, it says 58 up there, but there's an error with the server. It will be progressed very soon. We have 20 drivers in service. See if we can get the standings up to see all of them. Yeah, we can see most of them, apart from the ones that haven't set a lap time yet. 21 drivers, actually. One's just joined. This session will probably move on now. But Ben Walker at the top at the moment. He's in the pits at the moment. But Ben Walker had a terrible outing at Road America. He'll be looking to redeem himself here today. And it's certainly a good start with quickest in practice at the moment with his championship rival, Zariah Gurunyan, the championship leader, in second place with a lot of ballast. That's not hampering him. A good strong performance in practice from him. Lee Horne, third place, sits there in 6th in practice. We'll be moving on to qualifying very, very soon, I imagine. But a bit of a mention for Steven de Grelier. He's at home today, the only Belgian man out on circuit today. As I mentioned, he lives just on the outskirts of Brussels, so this is the closest track to home for him. So let's hope he'll get a good outing today. Jamie Dory returns after missing last week. Fourth in the championship, not fourth in. He was fourth in. He was third in the championship, and he's dropped down quite a bit. But he'll see if he can gain some points back today, and maybe a race win. Who knows? I believe the session is being moved on now. But as it does, and as qualifying starts, we will just go through the what's in store this season. This is the Next Gen Paramax Racing Series on Raceroom, hosted on Monday nights. We've been and gone at Portimao, the season opener. 2 weeks ago was Brands Hatch Indy, a thrilling round there, and then even better round last week at Road America. This is now round 4 at Circuit Zolder. Next week we're going to move on to the Republic of Czechia for the Autodrom Most circuit. Then we're off for 2 weeks for Christmas and New Year. We're back, and in Scandinavia we have a lot of Scandinavian drivers here, and we are going to Anderstorp for the Scandinavian Raceway. Round 7 will be the Mid-Ohio circuit in America. Then over to round 8, over to China for the Ningbo circuit. And there's a rumour across the paddock that Ningbo might be replaced by another track that might be coming along on Raceroom. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But it's rumoured that Watkins Glen might replace round 8. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Round 9, back over to Europe for the Aragon circuit in Spain. And then round 10, all roads lead to Spa, don't they? Well, if they don't, they should. Spa-Francorchamps will end the season for round 10 in about 8 weeks' time. Oh, don't quote me on that. But here we go, qualifying has started. The guys are out on their outlap at the moment. We are going live on view with Ben Walker, quickest in practice, last out on track here. If we look at the track map, this is what Zolder looks like. Ben Walker's last of the trail as Fraser Austin and William Ford go to start their first flying lap now. Ben Walker would rather be at the back, is what he is going for. But that's Zolder. It's a pretty funny looking track. But believe me, he's a great host for racing. But this is Fraser Rostant. Pole position last time out, I might remind you. So we'll go on board of him for a lap of Zolder. In fact, let's just see if anyone's starting a new lap. Tell you what, we'll go with championship leader Zariah Gurunyan. Warming up his tyres. We'll get a full lap with him. Desperately warming up his tyres. He's got a lot of ballast, so he kind of needs to. Anyway, round the Jackie Inks chicane. And have the start-finish straight to start the first lap. And I am going to butcher the name of all these corners. But here we go. Into Erster for the first corner. fourth gear, I believe, left-hander, keep it on left, back over to the left for the Sterrenwachtbocht. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Kanalbocht next, long right-hander flat out, into Lucien Bianchi-Bocht. I don't know how to say the Bocht bit, I think it's Bocht or Botched. I don't know. Up the straight we go towards the clean chicane, that's one I could say. And this is one of the trickiest corners in Europe, let alone on this track, because you cannot cut it too much and it upsets your car terribly. That looks pretty good from Soraya Gurunyan. Up the hill. The Sacrament Shelling, I don't know, round Butte, or Butt, one of them, into the Villeneuve chicane. Of course we know why that's called the Villeneuve chicane, not a very nice matter to talk about, but next corner is Telemenbocht. My god, if you're Belgian and watching this, please just look away. Boulderberg, I'll leave out the Bocht bit. Boulderberg next, sharp head, hairpin right-hander, second gear, through the Jockenrind chicane there. It's a fairly basic chicane, but now up towards the final two corners of the track, the Jackie Inks chicane. Of course, Jockenrind and Jackie Inks, two of Belgium's most popular racing drivers from the Formula 1 days. And across the line, Soraya Gurunyan finishes lap. And it's not the quickest, more than half a second behind Justin Welbelev, who is current pole sitter. As it stands, here at Zolder. Who else do we need to look at? We need to look at Ben Walker, who goes, just a little bit behind Justin Welbelev. Justin's not got much ballast on his car, that's something to point out. This is William Foyle on a purple second sector, not the best of first sectors, but if he can line this sector up pretty well, this could be a good time from William Foyle, who was our driver of the day last week, I may remind you, at Road America. See if he gets through this chicane pretty well, uses all the track. Here we go, up towards the start-finish line. He will cross the line now. It's green, but it's not going to be quicker than Justin Welbelev. It puts him third, quarter of a second behind. Not bad from William Foyle, but let's see if he can do better a little bit later on. This is Chris Needham, his debut last time out. He's teammates with Arnaud Chanonier, I believe, in the all-in-call 86 car there. And he's got a green first sector. He looked pretty good in practice, I've got to be honest. I think he was fifth quickest. So, debut last time out and showing great signs of improvement for this week. Let's see if he can improve on his time. He's 1.4 seconds off is the time he's set so far, and sector 2 he's only just over quarter of a second behind, so this could be a good improvement from Needham. Lots of people putting times on the board. The Gavrelia in 12th there, the Belgian homecoming driver, now across the final chicane. It didn't look very comfortable going across the curbs there. Chris Needham might have lost a little bit of time on that final corner. Let's find out if he improves from 11th. It should be an improvement, and it's put him up to 10th. Not the biggest of improvement, one place in fact, but a big time improvement. That might prove dividends later on. Ben Walker has put it back into, it's not back, but put it on pole position. He had just exited to go into the pits to reset his tyres, but he goes quickest at the moment. Fraser Ostens, a massive purple sector there, nearly quarter of a second up. That's a 29.829, which is, yes, it is that much quicker than that. Yeah, 0.238 quicker than Ben Walker's first sector is what that means, and a terrible second sector from Fraser Ostens. Not only is it slower than Ben Walker's, it's slower than his PB. It can't have been a very good Villeneuve chicane there. That's the only corner you can really screw up to mess up that second sector. See what he can make up in sector 3. He's got quite a bit of hole in the air in front of him with the cars in front. There's a link there, which I believe is Justin Welbelev. As I say, I pulled off the side there, that might have been Albin Gielgren. And across the line goes Fraser Ostens. Green third split. I don't think he improved his time though. No, I don't think he did. But fourth still at the moment for Fraser Ostens. This is Jeff Perkis, who had a purple sector 1. Ben Walker looks like he's got a lot of time to make up in Sector 1. But hooking up all the other sectors is Ben Walker. Let's see if Jeff Perkis can do much in this Sector 3. Keeps it close to the inside, try and get the most out of it. 7th at the moment. Improves his time, improves his position. 6th place at the moment for Jeff Perkis, who won race 3 last time out at Road America. This is Jamie Dory, the man who's pretty, he's the defending champion, but hasn't won a race yet this season. Granted, he's missed a whole meeting, so he's only attended 6 of the 9. But we're still waiting for a race win from Jamie Dory. His usual rival, Lee Horne, has picked up a race win, however. But this is Jamie Dory. He had good toe off the car in front there, puts it 4th. Just under 1/4 of a second behind Ben Walker, but this is Soraya Gurunyan, a good Sector 1. Let's see if Sector 2 is any good. That looked like Fraser Roston's pulling off to the side there to let Soraya go. That looked nice and clean through the Villeneuve chicane there. Oh, but he resets it. Might have been an invalidated lap time. Ben Walker, we said his first sector wasn't very good and others are getting quicker than him. He has found it. Well, he did, and he's just reset. He might have impaired track limits there. Now, this is a new driver, Jason Haddington, new to the series today. Welcome to him. In the Hell livery Honda Civic, belonging to Tiago Monteiro. And across the line, Jason will put it 18th, just ahead of Roy Plummer. And here is Lee Horne, purple, first sector. Let's see if Sector 2 is any good. These guys are really struggling to contend with Ben Walker in the 2nd sector. As you can see here, he's dropped a little bit from him. But it's still looking pretty good from Lee Horne. If he can get a good 3rd sector here. He's got a lot of ballast on board, but only just as much as Soraya Gurunyan, who's a lot of positions up from him. Lee Horne in the Audi. The Audi's not good at taking the curb zone, and this is a curb-heavy track. Tell you what car would be good here is the Lincoln Co. As we can see in 2nd place, there's a Lincoln Co. The Hyundai's pretty good across the curbs too, I might add. So it's really telling. Asian manufacturers having won over the European manufacturers at the moment, and that was a good green split from Lee Horne. Puts him up to 6th place. Not bad, but excuse me, he'll be looking for more than that, I'm sure. Neil Crave. Well, we haven't mentioned it much this season, actually. He's got a lot of traffic in front of him, and he dropped a lot of time in Sector 2 there. It might have been because of all the traffic around him. And he'll abort his lap here, I'm sure he will. Yeah, Neil will have to wait for another opportunity. Bit of dirt on his tyres, he'll have to reset. Now, that's not Neil Crave, I think that's William Foyle. No, it's Roy Plummer, do excuse me, they're both in the same livery, but Roy Plummer improves his time, gets himself back ahead of Haddington into 18th place. Jamie Dory, purple's 1st sector. There's a lot of purples in that 1st sector from a lot of drivers. It is frightening the fact that Ben Walker can go even quicker than this. But let's see how Jamie Dory can do, representing the Cupra. One of the 2 drivers who are in this field. Purple 2nd sector. We haven't seen that yet from anyone apart from Ben Walker. Could this be a pole position setting lap from Jamie Dory? We'll find out in about 20 seconds or so as he approaches the final 2 corners of the track. The Jackie Inks chicane. Let's see if he can improve from 4th to higher. It's looking good at the moment. How was that final chicane for him? Pretty good, I think. Matthew Addy has just jumped up to 9th place, to let you know. And here goes Jamie Dory. Purple sector. He takes pole position by nearly 1/4 of a second. Brilliant lap from Jamie Dory. Provisional pole sitter at the moment. But Soraya Gurunyan, purple in the first 2 sectors as well. Might he take pole position here as we descend into the dying moments of the session? Soraya Gurunyan crosses the line. The championship leader will take 2nd place. 1/10 behind, and that is Ben Walker. Puts himself pole position. What a battle between these 3 at the moment. Just half a 10th ahead of Jamie Dory at the moment, but Ben Walker takes back pole position. Jamie would be gutted about that, but not much time for these guys to get back out on track and set another lap time. There'll be guys on flying laps out there. I presume Gurunyan has put himself in the pit, so he will not do another lap. Gurunyan will not be taking pole position in this session, but Ben Walker and Jamie Dory might give it another go. Let's see if they are. Oh, in fact, Ben Walker has gone purple in Sector 1, as we can see here. Doesn't need to, but he's going to go for it anyway. Jamie Dory, I don't think... Yeah, Jamie Dory isn't improving his time. He will not get another shot. Once that timer goes to 0, that's it. Qualifying ends, and it's 1:37 now, and he's not at the start line, so he will not get another lap. This will just be practice now for him, and it looks like Ben Walker will be pole position for round 4. Huge redemption for last week. Now this is Oguzhagan. It's 14th at the moment. Not... Oh, that was really bouncy across the curve there. That might have ruined it. Keeping it tight on the left, not wasting time going over to the right. It's not much time, but anyway, that wasn't a bad final sector actually from Oguzhagan, but stays 14th. I'm not sure what happened there. Might have invalidated his lap time. Now Fraser Rostons, purple first sector. Sector 2, oh, not too sure. Oh, he might have been invalidated, in fact. Neil Crave, 11th at the moment, not threatening Ben Walker at the moment. It's certainly looking like Ben Walker is going to be pole position for this race. But let's see if Neil Crave can improve from his position. Just outside the top 10 at the moment. Matthew Addy keeping him out at the moment. Here he comes, up to the start-finish line. It's a green third sector, and appropriately, here are the standings for qualifying as it stands. I don't think they're going to change anyway. But Ben Walker takes pole position here at Zolder. Jamie Dory locks out the front row with an all-British front row in the Cupra. Soraya Gurunyan in the Hyundai will take third, with Justin Wellblove in the Lincoln Co. in fourth place. Jeff Purkis, the winner of race 3 last week, takes 5th. William Ford, the winner of race 1 last week, takes 6th. Lee Horne, championship battler, is 7th, and we'll get those results back on the screen for you so we can carry on with those qualifying results. This is what Raceroom does, I'm afraid. So here we go, we'll carry on where we were. Lee Horne was 7th with Fraser Rostons alongside him, the fellow Audi driver in 8th place. Another Audi in 9th place, Arnaldo Guedes. Alongside him will be Matthew Addy in the Volkswagen. Neil Crave will line up 11th with Arnaud Chenonnier in 12th place. Chris Needham in 13th with Oguzhagan in 14th. Stephen de Gravelia in 15th at his home race today. Albin Kilgren in 16th. Jürgen Madsby Pedersen 17th, Roy Plummer 18th, Jason Haddington 19th, and Alex Ward in 20th. And then in 21st is a new driver today, Ludwig Nielsen, who I believe is teammates with Albin Kilgren. So welcome to the club for Ludwig. And Jason, who's also a new driver today. Lots of new drivers coming along to the series. It's great to see. Quite a few drivers missing today, I do believe. Alexander Jakobsen and Jonas Lindberg not here today, which is a bit of a surprise. Hopefully see them back next time out, which is Autodrom Most. In fact, while we're waiting for race 1, we'll just run through the roster of the season. As mentioned, this is the Next Gen Racing, Power Max Racing, Season 19 WTCR League on Raceroom, hosted by Lee Horne, one of our competitors out there. First round was at Portimao, then we went to Brands Hatch Indy, last week was at Road America. This week, round 4, we're here at Circuit Zolder in Belgium. Next week, we're off to the Autodrom Most circuit in Czechia. 2 weeks off for Christmas and New Year, then we're at the Scandinavian Raceway in Anderstorp, Sweden. Round 7 is Mid-Ohio, Ningbo in China for round 8, back over to Europe for Aragon round 9, and round 10 it ends at Spa-Francorchamps. So the drivers line up on the grid now. This is round 4. the Next Gen Season 19 Power Max Racing WTCR League on Raceroom. My name is Alex Everett, commentator from Crest Autosport, and the lights are red. We're about to go. Away we go. Ben Walker started pole position with Jamie Dory alongside him. It looks like Gurunyan had a better getaway than Jamie Dory. He's around his outside, but not quite going to work. Justin Welbelove up the inside of Gurunyan to take third place at the first corner. Zaraya's not giving up. Back up the inside. Ben Walker gets through the first two corners. Drama free. That is the view from Gurunyan. He's lost a place so far, with Jeff Perkins all over the rear of him. Jamie Dory looking to keep up with Ben Walker up there. You can't go too wide on that corner. You'll hit the gravel there. Drivers have got to be careful about that. And now coming up is the chicane. The clean chicane. And they go. Yeah, all getting through very cleanly. Good driving. That's Lee Horne looking to the outside. And that's William Ford going up the inside of Lee Horne. And he does so. Hits Jeff Perkins on the way, but manages to get through and past Lee Horne. Good move from William. It was a bit of a wonky-donkey move, but nonetheless he made it. Out in front is still Ben Walker, leading from Jamie Dory. Justin Welbelove gained one place to get himself into third place ahead of Gurunyan. And that's Jamie Dory right on the heels of Ben Walker. It was a bit of a messy corner from Ben. Cooper all over his rear. Is he going to look to the inside into the Jackie Inch chicane? Camera change, please, so we can see. Oh, the undercut is going to be what Jamie attempts, and he's actually had a good run out of there. Not enough to get alongside him just yet. But at the end of lap one, Ben Walker, with a little bit of defending, leads from Jamie Dory, who goes back to the outside. That's Justin Welbelove right behind them. Three manufacturers battling it out for the top three at the moment. Gurunyan with the most ballast on board is in fourth place. He is dropping back ever so slightly. Or Jamie Dory looking at every opportunity, and Justin Welbelove goes wide. He touched the grass and it spat him out wide, and that's got Gurunyan hot on his heels now. Who looks to the outside. Has he managed to get it alongside? Not quite. Justin Welbelove moves back into the racing line. Well, making it through that chicane very clean, which is good to see. It's a very, very difficult corner, or two corners, in any set of racing. Whoa, and Justin Welbelove and Gurunyan making heavy contact there. Gurunyan went for a very late lunge, and it looked like Justin Welbelove just shut the door on him. Unfortunately, we can't get replays to get a second opinion of that, but certainly looked a bit nasty from those two drivers. See if they shake hands at the end of this, but Jeff Perkins now on the rear of Gurunyan. Takes a look to the inside, decides not to. It's a difficult track to overtake on, is Circuit Zolder. You've got to time it from many corners back. You've got to drive proactively, and you've got to be brave. You decide to go for an overtake and then decide not to, it might be the end of your or someone else's race. Justin Welbelove has not wasted time to try and get back away from Gurunyan by the looks of it. Trying to catch back up with the top two. Jeff Perkins here, sticking fairly close to Gurunyan at the moment. There's a big battle going on further back for ninth. That is Arnaldo Guedes and Oguzagan side by side into turn three. Oh, and look at Arnaldo. He's gone very wide there. Has he gone into the wall? I can't see him. Where is he? Or he might have. I'm not too sure. But that was a big off from him. Neil Crave right on the rear of Oguzagan. He's got himself up to 11th place. But he's in a Hell Honda sandwich at the moment. It's hell for him. Oh, and lots of people looking for moves going into the Villeneuve chicane. It's a very difficult corner to overtake on in any car, let alone touring cars. Touring cars is probably easier than any other. Jamie Dory's still right on the rear of Ben Walker. Ben Walker, we know him this season. We know he makes very few mistakes. very good leader of the pack. And it takes quite some drive to be able to get alongside and past him. The only driver I think who's done it to him this season is Jeff Purkis in 5th place. Him and Ben having a good battle at Brands Hatch first time out. This is Jamie Dory. It was a good run out of 2. He's got much less ballast than Ben Walker. You can tell that by how much drive he's getting out of the corners, and Ben Walker going a little bit wide off the exit, the traditional line, but Jamie trying the undercut. Has it worked? Not quite yet. Ben has got just enough, and that's Jeff Purkis up to 4th. Zariah Gurunyan has had an off a few corners ago, but he's dropped to 7th. This is a bad start for Zariah Gurunyan at the moment. 3rd to 7th at the moment. And back there, that's Neil Crave battling with Ogu Zagan. He's going to make the move for 9th place. Ogu shuts the door and gets back past him. Neil Crave not quite late enough on the brakes, and in fact that was Chenonier, not Ogu Zagan, but so that was an overtake from Chenonier. Good move, in fact. Around the outside from the Frenchman. Who else have we got battling out on track? We have Matthew Addy real close to Neil Crave, who we were just watching. Neil Crave goes to defend the inside, and that is a all-inkle Honda looking very needy there. That was Chris Needham, but the undercut from Matthew Addy enticed a bit. Neil Crave was battling for 9th a moment ago. He's now defending off 12th place. A big cut of the chicane in Jackie Ink's corner there from Matthew Addy. Lost a bit of momentum from Neil Crave now. But back at the front, Jamie Dory, not quite as close as he has been. But still nothing to report on. William Full has got himself into 5th place. The demise of Zariah Gurunyan back in 7th place there. The man with the most ballast on board, 60 kilos, has got one of his championship rivals right in front of him, one of his championship rivals up the front. But this is good for Ben Walker, who is 11 points off of Zariah Gurunyan. This will be a good meeting for him to catch up points-wise. What a good race. There's plenty of the meeting still to go. Dory, what can he do? He's got a lot less ballast on board, but he's got Ben Walker, the notorious Ben Walker, right in front of him. NXTGEN driver who missed last week due to work commitments. Back with a bang every time he is. And this is Zariah Gurunyan pressurising Lee Horne, one of his championship rivals. You can see how much load he's putting on the steering wheel. The ballast really not helping on this track. These guys don't have the ability to change their setups, and by that I mean these are fixed setup cars, so they cannot change their setup at all. That's what I mean by ability. Jamie Dory right on the rear of Ben Walker going into turn 1. Ben Walker was very wide off the apex. Jamie Dory slightly on the long side, but not enough to get past. We'll try the undercut coming out of turn 2. Ben Walker's defending it really well though. Jamie Dory's not got enough to get up the inside. Will he try going into turn 3? No, he hasn't got enough of a run. He has to back out, get back on the line, which makes Ben Walker get slightly ahead. It is a real difficult track to overtake on, as I said. Into the chicane. Cut quite a lot of it on this game sim, which is quite good. You can cut a lot of this one as well, but you've got to be real conscious of your tyres getting punctured on these sharp, severe curbs. And a slow down penalty for Alex Ward. Cutting the track limits a little too much on the previous chicane, it might have been. He's defending off from Jürgen Madsby Pedersen there, who's in 17th. But the person who'll start on pole position, as it stands anyway, is Fraser Rostance. The top 8 is reversed, which forms the grid for race 2 in and is top 15 for the following race of race 3. Fraser Roston's on his own a little bit here. Not really catching Zarai Gurunyan, not really losing anything from Ogu behind him. Ogus will have his eyes set on 8th place. Ogus is the man who's been able to get through the pack this season. Driver of the day performance back in Brands Hatch, and caught our eyes last week at Road America with his forever forward style driving. Jamie Dory very close. Same scenario as the last lap. Don't think that's going to work there, mate. You might as well stay behind and try for the next corner. But you can see Jamie Dory's so much more powerful down the straights, but Ben Walker is just making that Hyundai i30N work through these corners. Heavy braking into the Villeneuve chicane. Will fall right on the back of Jeff Perkins. They broke away from Lee Horne and Zarai Gurunyan. These two are drivers trying to catch up points-wise in the championship. There are drop rounds, as we said, but Will Fall has had his fair share of bad luck, as has Jeff Perkins. Huge cut at the corner there for Jamie Dory. Right on the rear of Ben Walker as a result. Is a good exit from that corner. Will he go for a move going into the Jackie Inch chicane? He'll give it a go, but he backs out in the end, cutting the corner a lot. Tries the undercut now. Let's stay on this angle. Still going to try the outside as we approach turn 1 to start lap 8. He'll try the undercut here. Yep, I read his mind well there. Ben Walker goes wide, but Jamie Dory still has to take the outside line. Trying another undercut through turn 2, now around turn 3. Bad exit from Ben Walker. Can Jamie Dory get alongside? This might have been the best opportunity he has. Late break. Ben Walker gives him enough room, but he hangs on to the position at the moment. Stays off the gravel. They're still side by side. Jamie Dory can get himself alongside, but he has to tuck back in because taking the outside round this chicane is not advisory at all. What does Jamie have to do to get past this guy? And there's only 2.5 minutes, or just over 2.5 minutes to go. Lee Horne with a slow down penalty. Cut that chicane a bit too much, and he's had to relinquish the position to Zarai Gurunyan as a result. That will not help his championship. And that's a slow down penalty for Jamie Dory. Cutting the Villeneuve chicane too much, and that will mean Justin Welblow catches up, and it will mean Ben Walker gets away. And that's another slowdown penalty for Lee Horne as well, cutting the Villeneuve chicane. Frustrating race so far for Lee Horne, whose 7th place might be coming under pressure from Jeff Perkins. Sorry, not Jeff Perkins, Fraser Rostons. But that's another point, or set of points back for Zarai Gurunyan in 6th place. This is Arnaud Chenonier battling with Ogu in front of him. These two have got to try and catch up with Fraser Rostons with not many laps to go. Ogu goes very wide coming out the chicane there. He'll get a slowdown penalty evidently from that. Arnold looks to the outside. He's alongside. This is the view from Ogu and he manages to get back in front. Arnold a little bit of contact, but looks to the outside. Still battling, and Arnold looking for the undercut. Both in the same livery. That's Arnold on the inside. The right side, Ogus on the left, and Ogus maintains position. Still a little bit of contact. Don't go too wide, guys. They don't. And that's Lee Horne dropping behind Fraser Rostons. Now something happened with him, and something happened with Zarai Gurunyan. He was passing Lee Horne a second ago. Not sure what happened there. But now Lee Horne is in position to be on pole position. For race 2 grid. Zagan still yet to serve a slowdown penalty by the looks of it. Has gone away now. He will fall right all over the rear of Jeff Perkins. 3 battles going on. Justin Welblow has joined. Oh, William Fall loses shape. has to go through the kitty litter, and that'll give him a little bit of a slowdown. And he'll have to give the position back to Jeff Purkis. Yep, he slows down to take the slowdown and relinquish the position. Now he'll try it again, but he'll have a lot of dirt all over his tyres. This will be a very messy few corners. That might have written off any chance of 4th place for William. But he lost shape under braking. I'm not sure if he planned an overtake or what. Excuse me, this is a good battle going on for 10th though. Neil Crave gone wide, and that relinquishes the position to Arnaud Chenonier. Neil Crave loses loads of positions now to Matthew Addy and potentially Chris Needham. Oh, please give us back to this. Big battle going on between Soraya Gurunyan, Fraser Rostance and Lee Horne. Fraser has got himself up 2 positions in the matter of a lap at the moment. Gurunyan looks to the outside of Fraser. Fraser's got the advantage of the inside going into the chicane. Across they go. No slowdown penalties for any of them yet, but Soraya had a good run out of the chicane. I don't think either of these drivers will care about reverse grid. I think they'll care more about the points. Oh, it's Constantino'd up. Soraya Gurunyan, what can he do? We will have to switch to the leader eventually, as Ben Walker broke away a little bit from Jamie Dory on that lap. Half a second clear now. Gurunyan will not go for the move here, and that might have been his last chance. Lee Horne will hang on to a reverse grid pole, but your race winner at the moment, as long as he gets through this final corner okay, which he does. Ben Walker lights the flag, has won race 1 here at Zolder, and believe it or not, is the only the second driver this season to have won more than one race. Him and Soraya Gurunyan. Jamie Dory will take 2nd place. A stellar drive from him, battling with Ben Walker all the way. Justin Wellbeloved, 3rd place after an impressive first lap, opening lap to get himself there. Jeff Purkis hangs on to 4th, with William Full in 5th place. Fraser Rostance, a good final 2 laps, gets him up a couple of positions to 6th place. Soraya Gurunyan drops from 3rd to 4th in that race. The championship leader probably has lost his championship lead in this race. It depends on the points difference between all the drivers, but I'll figure that out in the transition to race 2. Lee Horne, 8th place, will take reverse grid pole position for race 2. Argus Agan finishes 9th with Arnaud Chenonier. Pretty impressive driving from him. 10th place for the Brands Hatch Race 3 winner. Matthew Addy in 11th. Arnaldo Guedes drops down to 12th place after starting, I think it was 9th. Neil Crave, a disappointing final lap, will take 13th place with Chris Needham in 14th. Roy Plummer is in 15th there. Jürgen Madsby Pedersen is 16th. Debutant Jason Haddington in 17th. And there you go, there's your standings for race 1. Jamie Dory takes fastest lap honours, which I believe is an extra bonus point. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, a good battle between those two. Brit tops. Brit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't count to 6 now. That's so good, isn't it? But yeah, nice, exciting racing there. And with reverse grids now, it'd be even more exciting as the evening goes on. But yeah, to tail off from what we mentioned previously, Haddington in 17th, Ward in 18th, Nielsen in 19th, de Gravelia, a DNF at his home circuit. I think that's a DNF anyway. Have to do better next time, hopefully. Kilgren in 21st. So we're going to go away for a short break, guys. We'll be back very soon for race 2. Don't go away. Welcome back. Race 2 coming right up very soon as drivers enter the server and have a little bit of a warm-up before the racing begins. We're back at Zolder for race 2 of the 4th round of the NXTGEN Power Max Racing Season 19 WTCR League on Raceroom. This is race 2 of round 4, so it is race number 11 of the season. And here's what we've got coming up. If you want to get involved in this series, all you need is a wheel, pedals, or you can use a controller if you want, if you're pretty good at that, if that's your trade. You need Raceroom, which is free on Steam. The content is not free, however. The cars cost, depending if you get one car or the whole pack, I think an individual car costs around about £4. The whole pack costs about £10, and sometimes there's lots of offers, particularly as we're nearing Christmas and Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all them Fandango deals. If you want to get involved in this series, contact Lee Horne. As you can see in the top right there, he's the host. It is every Monday night, apart from the Christmas and New Year weeks. There's lots of other series on offer from NXTGEN as well, if Raceroom's not your thing. There's R Factor 2, there's iRacing, there's Assetto Corsa, Gran Turismo, I believe, F1 2020, lots on offer. But this is Raceroom, the home of touring cars, and this is what we've got going on this season. We've been to Portimao of round 1, we've been to Brands Hatch Indy, we've been to Road America last week. This week is Circuit Zolder. Next week we head down to Central Continental Europe for the Autodrome Most Circuit in Czechia. We have 2 weeks off after round 5 for Christmas and the New Year, and we're back on in Sweden for the Scandinavian Raceway, otherwise known as Anderstorp. Round 7 is Mid-Ohio. Round 8, the Ningbo Circuit in China. Round 9, we're back in Europe for the Aragon Circuit in Spain, and then back in Belgium where we are today, but for the Spa-Francorchamps finale. A little bit more of housekeeping. If you do like what you're watching today, guys, please do subscribe to the channel. I know it's my own personal channel, but there's a lot of Crest Autosport and NXTGEN Racing broadcasting and live streaming going on this channel, so it does mean a lot if you subscribe and just check out the racing. Crest Autosport, just to mention a little bit more about Crest Autosport, it's gone from hosting sim rally leagues on Dirt Rally 2 to hosting a whole manner of leagues on Raceroom, Assetto Corsa, iRacing, Wreckfest, Automobilista 2. It's a very, very cheeky tongue twister, that game. But lots of leagues on offer by us. We are proud affiliates of 603 Autosport for your digitalization needs in car racing and sim racing, as well as Track Racer UK, very popular UK based sim racing. I've forgotten the word. Sim racing product offers. There's a link in the description to find their website if you need anything when it comes to sim racing rigs, seats, anything sim racing rig based equipment. There you guys. So not long to go, just shy of 2 minutes until we get going with race 2. And just a reminder, a few more things. The ballast, which we had in race 1, will be completely different this time. The top 10, based on where they finished, will have new ballast. So the winner of race 1, Ben Walker, will now have maximum ballast of 60 kilos. And the person who finished 10th, Arnold Shanoni, I believe it was, will get 6 kilos of ballast. In fact, while we're at it, we'll just take a look at the results from the previous race. Here they are. So yeah, Ben Walker takes the honours. Jamie Dory second. He'll now have 54 kilos. 48 kilos for Justin Welbelove. 42 for Jeff Purkis. 36 for William Foyle. 30 for Fraser Rostance. Zariah Gurunyan, who had 60 in the previous race, will now have... I've forgotten the maths. 24. Lee Horne, 18 kilos. 12 for Ogu Zagan and 6 for Arnaud Chenonnier. But it is a reverse grid, starting grid for the top 8. So Lee Horne will line up on pole position and it will run as they did in the top 8 there, reversed. And then Ogu Zagan will start 9th with Arnaud Chenonnier in 10th, and so on and so on. 21 drivers in the server now, so we'll be good to go in 20 seconds, as it says at the top there. It'd be interesting to see how race 1 gets on here. There wasn't much overtaken in race 1 there. It's probably the least overtaken we've had all season. Huh. Hopefully we'll have more throughout the night. But these drivers, entertainers that they are, great racers that they are, I'm sure they'll entertain us. Road America last week was an absolute explosion of great racing, so there's plenty of potential here. So here we go. We're about to start race 11 of the season. But this is round 4, second race of the night. The Next Gen Power Max Racing Season 19 WTCR League on Raceroom at Circuit Zolder. Lights are red. Lee Horne, pole position, Zariah Gurunyan second. Away they go. Lee Horne appeared to get a good getaway there. Zariah Gurunyan comes straight across to defend from William Foyle, who is in third place with Jeff Purkis on his inside. Justin Welbelove looked like he was going for a move on Jeff Purkis, but backed out of it. Through turn 1 and turn 2 safely is Lee Horne. On board with Ben Walker, race 1 winner. He got himself up to 8th. Who had a bad start? Someone did. I can't work it out. Someone had a bad start and Ben Walker's got past someone. Not entirely sure. Anyway, away. It was. No, it's not Jamie Dory. Oh, I can't work it out. Up the inside of Ogu Zagan goes Ben Walker. Why, Raceroom? Why? Oh no, that was Arnaud Chenonnier then. Ben Walker has not lost a place, but he's relinquished position to Ogu Zagan, as Zariah Gurunyan has taken the lead from Will Foyle Lee Horne very early on in this race. Lee Horne, he's got to have a better answer than that. He's his championship rival in front of him. He's got to be better than that on lap 1, as he's got William Foyle right on his rear now. He goes wide and he relinquishes another position potentially to William Foyle. Slots in behind him. Terrible opening lap for Lee Horne at the moment. Zariah Gurunyan breaking away at the front there. And this is Jamie Dory, 7th place. Ogu Zagan has made his way into 6th place. 2 places gained, and he's passed 2 guys who finished top of the pops in the last race. That's Lee Horne looking for William Foyle on the inside, and it's a good move. Very bullish move, but William Foyle holds the outside and therefore the inside for the next corner. Hangs on to the outside, does Lee Horne. He's got Justin Welbelove right behind him. Justin finished 3rd in the previous race and he's already up to 4th from 6th. Ogu Zagan up to 6th from 9th. So good stuff from Ogus, who is Mr. Forever Forward. At the moment, that's Lee Horne was right alongside William Foyle. Now looks to the inside. Jeff Purkis is looking to get past Justin Welbelove. Crocodile of Brits here. This is just allowing Zariah Gurunyan to get away. Zariah now has no ballast, and we know that his potential pace, he'll just break away from these guys while they trip over each other. Jamie Dory cutting the... I've forgotten the name of it again. The clean chicane too much and has got himself a slowdown penalty. He's there in 8th place, back behind Ben Walker. That's not what he wanted. Here's Jamie Dory. He says he's still got a slowdown penalty, but it doesn't seem to be serving anything. He might have already served it. Justin Welbelove heavy on the brakes right behind Lee Horne. That car in the distance there is Zariah Gurunyan. He's 2.5 seconds clear of William Foyle. William Foyle will need to get his head down Justin so late on the brakes, and that link can get across these curves so much easier than those Audis and Volkswagens can. However, coming out of the Jackie Inks corner, he didn't look particularly healthy on the acceleration front. William Foyle hangs on to second at the moment. Lee Horne, what answer does he have for William Foyle? He's let first place slip away from him, and in fact it's nearly a 3 second, well, it's just over 2.5 seconds between Zariah and William Foyle. William Foyle will have his eyes on his mirrors rather than Zariah Gurunyan. Zariah will be hard to catch now, even though it's very early on in this race. We're on lap 3. This 15-minute race into the bus stop. These guys continue to trip over each other. Oguzhagan couldn't catch up, and we know what Oguzhagan's like. Absolute powerhouse of getting through the pack. Hard lock left from Lee Horne there. William Foyle broke away a little bit through the Villeneuve chicane there. Justin Welbler primed and ready, but Zariah Gurunyan's messed up somewhere. Less than 1.5 seconds between him and William Foyle now. I'm sure it was just one little clumsy mistake rather than time being gained on him. But looking a bit vulnerable at the moment is Zariah. Have to clean up his act if he doesn't want to have a battle for that first place he currently holds. Zariah, as it stands, if he wins this race, he'll be the only driver to win more than 2 races. He was the only driver to win 2 races coming into today, and that was broken by Ben Walker in race 1. Ronaldo Guedes is on the move. He's got himself up to 9th place. Very impressive from him. Reverse grid holder at the moment is Roy Plummer in 15th there. He's battling with Jürgen Matby Pedersen in front of him. Alex Ward behind him in the Cupra to look out for. But we're back with Lee Horne, nice and tight on that apex, and a good run out of that corner. He'll get himself up the inside of Lee Horne, going up towards the clean chicane, but he decides to back out of it. Couldn't quite get it alongside. Big hop, skip and jump across the curbs. The clean chicane there from Lee Horne. Lee Horne is... I'm gonna be brutally honest. However, we'll cut back to Jeff Purkis, who him and Oguzhagan had a bit of a ding dong there going into the Villeneuve chicane, and they're side by side still. Oguzhagan gets past. I'm not sure if it was the most legitimate of passes, but hey ho, we'll crack on with that. But they've got Ben Walker and Jamie Dory right on the rear of them now, and they've dropped back a little bit from the guys in front. That's Ben Walker going up the inside of Jeff Purkis. Jeff gives him a little bit of room, but Ben Walker, brave move going up the inside. Jeff Purkis hangs on at the moment. He'll have the inside for the next corner, but Ben Walker is edging more and more ahead as he's got slipstream from Oguzhagan. Jeff Purkis will now have to slot into 7th place. He was a little bit out of shape under braking, was Jeff, but Ben Walker on the charge, coming out of the final corner to start lap 6, and that's William Foyle defending from Lee Horne going into turn 1. Lee Horne will get the undercut, but Oguzhagan is... Oh, and William Foyle has dropped the position there. It was a terrible corner from William Foyle, and that's really surrendered it to Lee Horne. And in fact, Justin Welbler is now on the inside. Has to back out of it. It's not the easiest place to overtake, is this corner. Turn 4, I think. But Lee Horne's broke away. Still just shy of 2 seconds behind Zariah Gurunyan. Jeff Purkis has dropped to 8th place. He's a sitting duck down Ronaldo Guedes now. Ben Walker's got away, and Jamie Dory's got past him at some point on this lap, but he's got Guedes right behind him. Guedes has been quiet the last couple of races. Real impressive outing at Portimao. Now he's got himself back up to speed here in Zolder today. Justin Welbler right on the heels of William Foyle. It's been a little bit clunky from the top 3 at the moment in this race. All 3 of them have made some manner of mistake in this race. As Zariah putting in a good lap here, breaking away, and that was Ronaldo Guedes on the inside of Purkis. Purkis surrenders the position quite easily. He might have outbroken himself, to be fair, but now has dropped to 9th place as Jeff. Guedes on the charge at the moment. Zagan has been passed by Ben Walker up to 5th place. Ben Walker doing well to get the most points out of today. He's got some gap to catch up to Justin Welbler. If those three start battling intensely at the top, he'll catch up with them very soon. Neil Crave has got himself up to 10th place in the yellow Cupra there. Bit of redemption for a slightly disappointing race 1 for him. Chenonier has dropped 1 place from where he started and is fending off Matthew Addy at the moment, who's right behind him there in the Rob Huff 12 machine. But this is Jamie Dorey right on the rear of Ogu Zagan again. Ogu's passed him some laps ago. He'll be looking to get back past him and set his eyes on Ben Walker. And eventually the guys further up ahead of him. Guedes has a slowdown coming out of clean chicane there, and he'll have Jeff Perkis flat. He has got Jeff Perkis flashing his lights. Jeff will look to the inside. He cuts back in to follow him through the Villeneuve chicane. Guedes looking like he was going to be battling with Jamie Dorey for 7th place. Now has to fend off defending 8th place from Jeff Perkis. Now Jeff is just not having a good race here. He's dropped from I think it's 4th place to 9th so far in this race, and he's got Neil Crave right behind him now again. Just a well-beloved, taking a little peek at the inside of William Fall, but you can just see how good that link is across the curbs. William Fall defending the inside a little bit from Justin Well-Beloved there, just enough to stop Justin getting the overlap. Justin looking for the inside. He's looking very quick on this track today, is Justin. Oh, tried a little bit of a slingshot for turn 2 there. There's a little bit of contact, I think, but William hangs on at the moment. Ogu Zagan not letting Ben Walker get away at the moment. Ogu's got a lot less weight than Ben Walker and Jamie Dorey behind him, but these guys are quick drivers. As Jamie Dorey is looking to the outside, he's got it alongside. Will he outbrake him? Not quite, no. He will slot back in behind Ogu's, but he will not give up. I'm sure he's going to try something for the Villeneuve chicane coming up. William Fall's dropped back quite a fair bit from Lee Horne as he's defending from Justin Welbelove, but Lee Horne is broke to within 2 seconds of Soraya Gurunyan. Lee Horne is one of the quickest men on the track at the moment. In fact, fastest lap has gone to Ben Walker at the moment. There's a lot of invalidated lap times out there. In fact, only 5 drivers have set a legitimate lap time out here so far. Justin's one of them, and in fact Justin's not one of them. Ben Walker is one of them. Lee Horne is another. Matthew Addy, Jürgen Madsby Pedersen, and Stephen de Gravelia. Ben Walker holds fastest lap at the moment. I think it's an extra point. Fastest lap. As we look at Jeff Perkis battling with Arnaldo Guedes. Oh, and that was a mistake from Ogu Zagan. He went wide coming out of turn 1. Still holds the inside into turn 2, but Jamie Dorey's got good momentum around the outside and a lot more grip. He'll get back ahead around the outside of Ogu Zagan. Neil Crave has got in front of Jeff Perkis on that corner too. That puts Neil Crave back into 8th place. It's a much better showing from Neil Crave in this race. It's not a good showing from Jeff Perkis, sadly. Good stuff from Neil Crave so far, and that is Chenonier. He's alongside Jeff Perkis, and Jeff slots behind the Frenchman. Another place lost for Jeff Perkis, and he's got Guedes right behind him. Guedes is the one that dropped off. Perkis and Crave got ahead of him. Crave got ahead of 2 on the 1 lap. Oh, and Guedes looking at Jeff Perkis, but decides not to. And if you look to Ben Walker, he's really reeling in Justin Welbelove. I mean, there's only 2 laps to go. little bit of obscurity of track limits there, but hey ho. If Raceroom allows it, go ahead. Certainly looked like Raceroom allowed that. Might have been an instant point, but hey ho. But the gap between Lee Horne and Soraya Gurunyan is reducing. 1.5 seconds between them. Lee Horne's last lap was 0.2 quicker than Soraya, not much, and it's not enough to catch in the next a minute and a bit. This lap and another lap. Just clocking back into the comments. Yeah. Asked to go through the corner names again. Not a chance. That is not happening. I've got a Belgian mate at Crest Autosport with me. I'm going to have to ask him next time. Thankfully, next time we're in Belgium, Spa-Francorchamps, I can pronounce the names of all them corners, so unlucky. Neil Crave, 9th place. He's dropped behind Chenonier at some point on the last lap. Chenonier's having a good race out. Has got past Guedes, Perkis and Crave. And look at this. This is Ben Walker on the inside of Justin Wellbeloved up towards the Jackie Inc chicane. Let's go on board of Ben Walker, see if he can get it. He outbrakes Justin. He'll go to defend the inside straight away. Brilliant move from Ben Walker, but Justin Wellbeloved had a good run coming out of there. Has the upper hand of speed, he'll have the outside going into turn 1. Soraya Gurunyan has started the final lap now. Plenty of gap between him and Lee Horne. Justin Wellbeloved tucks back in. He'll try the undercut as he goes towards turn 2. You can't see, but Ben Walker is alongside him. Oh, Ben Walker, big acceleration coming out of turn 2, and Justin Wellbeloved will go for the inside as he approaches turn 4. Up the inside, we haven't seen anyone overtake on this corner yet today. Oh, and they managed to get through without touching the gravel. Brilliant racing from these two. Great respect between them, and Ben Walker surrenders the position to take back 5th place. Great move from Justin there. In fact, Justin hasn't lost the position, so just good defending from him. But he has let William Ford break away. That's what happens at Zolder. It really does detriment your pace when you do get involved in a battle. Jamie Dory, more track limits. The steward's waving the finger at him, but not much to fight for in this race right now for Jamie. Argus is quite a bit behind him. Ben Walker's quite a bit in front of him, but the first time this season a driver's won more than 2 races. As long as Soraya gets through this final corner, which he does. Soraya Gurunyan takes his 3rd win of the season, his first since round 1 at Portimao. The Hyundai driver from Ukraine takes race 2 here at Zolder. Lee Horne will take another 2nd place. I think that's 4 he's had this season. William Fall, a strong podium there for him. Justin Wellbeloved and Ben Walker side by side coming across the line, and a very flamboyant looking Jamie Dory coming across for 6th. Orgu Zagan, good racing from him in this race, gets himself up to 7th, as well as the other number 9 Helm machine of Arnaud Chenonier in 8th place there. Neil Crave, a good racing from him to get himself up to 9th. And the opposite of the guys in front of him, Jeff Perkins, having a really disappointing race there. But your race winner was Soraya Gurunyan. 3rd win of the season. Only him and Ben Walker have won more than 1 race. And there you go. There's your standings. Soraya Gurunyan, fastest lap and race winner. A good outing for him there. Taking the lead on the opening lap. Lee Horne, 2nd place. William Ford, 3rd place. Justin Wellbeloved, a charge from 6th to 4th. Ben Walker gets from 8th to 5th. Jamie Dory from 7th to 6th. Orgu Zagan goes from 9th to 7th, with Chenonier going from 10th to 8th. Neil Crave gets himself up to 9th. Jeff Perkis drops from 4th to 10th in that race. Guedes with a pretty good showing in this race again in 11th. Chris Needham gains a few positions to 12th. Matthew Addy in 13th. Jürgen Madsby Pedersen 14th. Alex Ward 15th. And Alex Ward will put it on pole position for race 3. We'll go through the rest of the results when we come back for race 3, but don't go away, everyone. We'll be back with race 3 in just a couple of moments. Welcome back to this coverage by Crest Autosport of the Next Gen Racing Powermax Racing Monday night Raceroom League. Is a mouthful of a title, isn't it? Here at Zolder for round 4. Race 3 coming up very, very shortly, and the 12th race of the season. Yeah, 11 races completed, and we've had it's 8 different winners. So it was a lot more impressive coming into today, that statistic. Whoa, Shanonia going very wide there. Right, okay, get on the auto director. Yeah, so a little bit of housekeeping before we get going. It is a reverse grid of the top 15 finishers of the last race, and we'll just finish off those standings. In fact, we'll run through them again. Here we go. Soraya Gurunyan took honours in race 2 with the fastest lap. Lee Horne finished it in 2nd place. William Fall in 3rd place. Justin Wellblood in 4th place, and Ben Walker, the race 1 winner, got himself from 8th to 5th. Jamie Dory finishes 6th place. Oguzagan, an impressive overtaking display to get himself into 7th, as was Arnold Chenonier to get himself into 8th place. Neil Cray finished 9th with Jeff Perkis in 10th. 11 goes to Guedes with Chris Needham in 12th. Matthew Addy in 13th with Jürgen Madsby Pedersen finishing 14th. Reverse grid winner, well, if you can call it that, Alex Ward finishes 15th and therefore will start on pole position for race 3 coming up in just over 4 minutes. 16th, just missing out on the reverse grid by less than a second, in fact, Jason Haddington on his debut here tonight. Hometown hero, Stephen de Gravelia, not the night he probably would have wanted, but 17th for him nonetheless. Roy Plummer in 18th, Fraser Rostons having a DNF. He was the one that we were trying to look out for earlier, that dropped off the standings. Fraser Rostons with a DNF, sadly, in race 2, 19th there. Ludwig Nielsen took 20th, and Albin Hilgren finished 21st, having retired fairly early on. You can't see him that much by there. There we go. And just before we get going, a reminder of what's going on here. This is our coverage. I work for a company called Crest Autosport, who are providing today's stream. We are proudly affiliated with 603 Autosport for your digital dashboard needs, as well as Track Racer, proud affiliates of them, who provide great sim racing products such as bucket seats, sim rigs, monitor stands, what else do they have? Other bits and bobs for sim racing needs. Should you want to take this up as a hobby and you want to progress your equipment further, Track Racer is certainly the dealer to go to. There is a link in the description of this video if you want to go to their website and make a purchase, or just browse, whichever you want to do. But yeah, a little bit more housekeeping before we get away. A bit to describe this league and this organisation. This is NXTGEN Racing, who hosts a whole manner of leagues sponsored by PowerMax Racing, who of course we know have many teams in the Tocket series, and I believe they have drivers in other, and cars even, in other series in the UK. But this in particular is WTCR League Series on Raceroom, hosted by Lee Horne on Monday nights. If you want to get involved with Raceroom or this league, you need Raceroom, which is free on Steam. And then all you need is a wheel and pedal set, or a controller if that's your, if that's the way you do things. But the game is free, the content is not, sadly. The cars cost about £4 for the individual cars, and then it's about £10 if you want to get the whole pack, if you want to try out all the cars. 7 different manufacturers, I believe. So yeah, the tracks range somewhere between £2.50 and £4.50, and these are the tracks we are visiting this season. We've been to Portimao, we've been to Brands Hatch Indy, and last week we were at Road America. This week, here today, we're at Circuit Zolder. Next week we head down to Czechia for the Autodrom Most circuit. A little bit of background behind Autodrom Most. It is a very strange looking track, but it's not a very popular track, to be quite frank with you. It's rarely used with touring cars, it's rarely used with open wheel cars. It's mostly used for superbikes and trucks, which is a weird combo and a weird niche. But yeah, it's been brought to Raceroom as a track released about a year ago. In fact, it's fairly new on the life cycle of Raceroom, but when it comes to touring car racing on this circuit, it is amazing. You will not want to miss next week. Even though you don't know the track, you will know it by this time next week. It is a brilliant track for racing with touring cars. 19 corners on the track, lots of elevation changes, lots of slow and fast corners. It's a great one to look out for in 1 week's time. Then after round 5 at Most, we are off for 2 weeks for Christmas and New Year. round 6 when we come back in the new year for the Scandinavian Raceway, otherwise known as Anderstorp, which has featured in the World Touring Car Championship in the past. I think it was 2006 or 7, one or the other. The racing's about to start, so round 7 is Mid-Ohio in America, Ningbo round 8, back over to Europe for Aragon in round 9, and Spa-Francorchamps round 10, the finale. So here we go. We're about to get going. This is race 3 of the night for the NXTGEN PowerMax Racing WTCR League on Raceroom at Circuit Zolder. Alex Ward is on pole position with Jürgen Madsby Pedersen alongside. The lights are red. Away we go, and it wasn't a very good start from Alex Ward there. We're going to have to get along on board with him. That's Jürgen Madsby Pedersen. Alex Ward has managed to stay in front of him. Back over to the TV camera. Up the inside of him goes Matthew Addy, and they both go very, very wide. Matthew Addy fancies his chances. Is that Pedersen in second, actually? Yeah, it was Pedersen. Got himself back into second. Round the outside is Guedes. Gets himself just in front of Matthew Addy at the moment, but holds the outside for the next corner. Alex Ward comes out of turn 4 in the lead. Do they all get through this corner safely? It's a very difficult corner side by side. They all get through pretty neatly. Down towards the bus stop. Here we go. This is where it all kicks off, potentially. Oh, side by side, Needham and Addy. That was Neil Crave going wide into the gravel, and he's going to lose loads and loads of positions there. This is Guedes looking to get by Alex Ward. Not going to happen in this corner. Arguzagan, we're looking at him because he's already making moves. He's got past Chenonnier. I believe he started 9th place and he's already up to 6th place. And look at that, that's Chris Needham going up the inside of Jürgen Madsby Pedersen. Very daring move. Sideways behind him was Matthew Addy. A lot of Hondas colliding with one another. It's 4 wide now going down the back straight here. Justin Welbelove getting in the mix. Oh, there was nearly a big pile up against the tyres there. And look at that, that's Jamie Dory. Oh, look at these gaggle of cars. Jamie Dory has managed to get past Jeff Perkins. Arguzagan managed to stay in front of William Foyle and Lee Horne. Ben Walker has made his way, has dropped behind Lee Horne and William Foyle, but at the end of lap 1, Alex Ward leads it. That was Madsby Pedersen jumping back in front of Needham. Oh, Pedersen carrying way too much speed into turn 2 there. Got to be adopt a bit more of a slow in, fast out approach there, because Needham gained hugely coming out of that corner, but not enough to get past him. Justin Welbelove's making some moves, by the way. I think he started 12th. He did, and he's already up to 6th place. And look at this. This is Needham versus Addy versus Pedersen. Pedersen guards off Needham. Oh, and looking back there, Jeff Perkins looking to the outside of Chenonnier. Going into the Villeneuve chicane. I'm just trying to enjoy this just as much as you guys. That's William Foyle battling with Jeff Perkins there. Now William Foyle is under pressure from Arguzagan. And in front, that is Chenonnier alongside Jamie Dory. Jamie's flashing his lights for some reason or another. Not happy with something Chenonnier's done. And look at all these cars going through the Boulderberg Boch, there you go. There's a bad pronunciation of the name. Oh, Soraya Gurunyan got a little bit of a tank slapper on coming out of the Jochen Rindt chicane there, but he's up the inside of Lee Horne still. Lee Horne will guard the inside for the next part of the chicane, hangs on to position. Ben Walker still just behind Soraya Gurunyan. They haven't really advanced many positions, have the top 2 finishes from race. No, Ben Walker did not finish in the top 2. What am I talking about? But he makes his way past Soraya Gurunyan into turn 1 there, as we saw. But we've got to go back to the front as Guedes is real close to Alex Ward. It might be a matter of time before Guedes makes a move on Alex Ward. Alex Ward is very new to the series, I might add. I think his debut was last week at Road America, and oh, he gives Guedes a little bit of room. Guedes trying to take it on the inside of the chicane there. Didn't quite work. Good little battle between these two. Justin Welbelove. Oh, not quite enough, but he's got Matthew Addy alongside him. Matthew Addy will go for Justin and will go for Chris Needham, but he gets past Justin well below. Great overtakes somewhat from Matthew Addy. He get himself back into the top 5. Jamie Dory right behind Justin Welbelev now. Heavy braking, going into the hairpin. Justin hasn't gone for a move, but there's a Honda making moves there. Oh, and it's all kicked off now. Jamie Dory went sideways. Jeff Perkins got past. Shannonier has not gained any positions, but has taken out a few people. It's very close between all these cars, and look at that. There's cars all over the place going into the chicane here. That's Soraya Gurunyan on the inside of Shannonier. Shannonier is a sitting duck at the moment. That's Lee Horne, who's got himself back ahead. Ogu Zagan has dropped back as well. It's bad luck for the 2 Hell Hondas who have been sticking together throughout the night. But William Fall, Lee Horne and Soraya Gurunyan have broken clear of the 2 Hondas. Ben Walker still sitting back there in 14th. Ben Walker, who finished 5th in race 1, started 11th. He's dropped to 14th so far. Not a good race from him so far. And Guedes has got himself into the lead. And in fact, what has happened to our race leader, Alex Ward, has dropped down to 9th place. Apologies for missing that, but we've got to get back to the front 2 here. Needham was looking for a move on Guedes, but look who's in 3rd place. A man who's been charging through the pack today on a track that's so difficult to overtake. Justin Welbelev is up to 3rd place. I don't think he didn't get a win in a podium, in race 2. He got one in race 1, and he might be getting another one here in race 3. So far, the highest point scorer, bar Ben Walker. Ben Walker coming into this race is the top scorer, but right now you can't really see Ben Walker gaining many more positions as the night tails away. Someone's in the pits. That might be Neil Crave, and in fact it is. It might be Puncture, but Justin is on the inside of Chris Needham. A good run coming out of the chicane. Needham's got a bit less ballast and was therefore had a better top speed, but Justin has the experience to get up alongside and pass, and Needham went too wide, touched the gravel a little bit. Justin Welbelev takes 2nd place here at Zolder, but Chris Needham and Matthew Addy are both having pretty decent races here. A good crack at the whip here, and they're not going to give up on their positions, no matter who's behind them. I mean, they've got Jeff Perkins, who's battling for the top 10 in the championship, and they've got the guys battling for the top 5 in the championship coming up very soon behind him. This is Jeff Perkins. Bit of buffer between him and Will Ford behind him. Steven de Gravelia has a slowdown. That might have been in the clean chicane. Jeff Perkins, I thought he was going to try the inside there. Now Justin Welbelev has caught up. He didn't have much to catch up, but he's caught up nonetheless with Arnaldo Guedes. A good run out of that hairpin at the bottom there through the Jochen Rindt chicane. Breaking into Jackie Inks, Raceroom, and he round the outside and got the inside for the next corner. Great move from Justin Welbelev. Takes the lead here in race 3. Guedes couldn't really do much about that. He went to defend, and Justin Welbelev was just so late on the brakes, and that link is able to just skip across the curbs. It's so good on uneven surfaces. Justin Welbelev proving what he can do, as well as the link. That's the view from Needham. Now Justin's clear, I guess, despite going wide on this corner here. Ooh. Needham will be looking to get 2nd place at least from Guedes. Got a good run on him. Guedes defending, going into, I keep wanting to call it the bus stop, but the clean chicane. Justin gets a slow down penalty. Oh, look at that. That was Matthew Addy looking to the outside of Needham. going over the hill. Justin had a slowdown, but I don't know if he served it yet. Needham up the inside and gets past Guedes. That's Jeff Perkins, who's got himself into 4th place. And that's Will Foyle looking to get past Matthew Addy. Addy is a sitting duck at the moment. Alex Ward, our pole sitter and race leader for a little while, has a slowdown further back in the grid. Not a good race for him in the end. Now Guedes dropped to 3rd place. Needham up to 2nd place. Needham's fairly new as well. He's came into last week's race as a debutant. Look at that, Will Foyle on the outside of Matthew Addy and gets past him. Will Foyle back into 5th place. He's had a good outing today, has William Foyle. Let's see what he can do with the remaining half distance. Yeah, approximately. Well, Matthew Addy hanging on to the outside of William Foyle there. William not giving him much room. But still, enough respect between them. Oh, William Foyle. He's got Matthew Addy still on the outside of him. Has to be careful. Addy has got the undercut. That might be a brilliant, brilliant move in the making here. Addy's got the inside. Will he go for it? No, not quite. He did try, but he has to stay on the track, and he hit the kitty litter a little bit. Jamie Dory, these are the big drivers. They are going to capitalise on tiny mistakes like that. Jamie Dory has the outside going into the clean chicane, but Matthew Addy hangs on. That's Soraya Gurunyan behind Jamie Dory. Soraya will be looking to get points back from Ben Walker in the first race, and he will. Ben Walker's only up to 12th, Lee Horne's only up to 13th, so Soraya Gurunyan still on course to be championship leader coming out of today. That's one thing for certain, I guess, but pending what happens later on in this race. Chris Needham is real close to Justin Welblev still. Justin, although he's been piling his way through the pack, he's not breaking away from this battle at the moment. Needham putting in a good race here to not let Justin walk away with this. That Honda has been pretty good on this track today, may I say. A lot of Honda drivers putting in a good display tonight. This is the view from Guedes. Was the race leader for a couple of laps and has been denied race win honours thus far by Justin Welblev and Needham. He's got Jeff Perkins to worry about behind him. Jeff Perkins, who won race 3 last week out at Road America. Justin Welblev won race 2 last week out at Road America. Needham's not giving up on this, and so he shouldn't. He should definitely go for it. I'm not really aware of Chris Needham's experience in sim racing, but in Next Gen Monday Night Raceroom League wise, not much at all. He's not afraid to get his elbows out, I suppose. Ben Walker with a slowdown down in 13th, and Lee Horne right in front of him. These two have just been looking at Soraya Gurunyan getting his way up the grid here. He's in 8th place at the moment. Look at him thinking, well, he'll be championship leader coming out today. We'll take it into next week. Real close between this top 4 at the moment. Needham, oh, he took a little look towards the inside just to sort of say, oh, can I get that? And just to remind Justin that he's still there. Now Justin, I have to confess, I thought he was just going to drive away once he got past Guedes, but Needham, where credit's due, has not let that happen. Chenonier has retired from the race, sadly, and as has Neil Crave. Chenonier retired maybe due to an incident, but that's unfortunate from him. A driver hasn't come in for this final race, and I can't figure out who it... Oh, Oguzagan! Oguzagan has retired, and he's blinking on and off the standings, which probably means there's a disconnection. Oh, poor fella, he was doing so well tonight. There's nothing more painful in sim racing than a disconnect due to internet connection. But the show must go on. And the show is coming from these two, Needham and Welblev, the Battle of Britain. One of them in a Lincoln Co, one of them in a Honda. thing is with this track. A lot of the drivers squabbling for position early on in this race because you had a big mix of fast-paced drivers with lower-paced drivers. Just seen a position swap. Ben Walker and Lee Horne are side by side. Two championship drivers having a bit of a ding-dong here. I can't work out quite yet who will be leading the championship coming out of this race, whether it will be Ben Walker or Gurunyan. I know it will be fairly close between the two, though. Look at how close Needham is. The undercut. Now, this Honda has got a real good diff behind it, which means you'll have good acceleration coming out of the Jackie Inks chicane and less ballast than Justin, but you'll still hold the outside, which is not the ideal line for any corner, let alone this one. He'll try the undercut. He'll try going for turn 2. No, it will not work. But Needham feels he needs something. He has not given up on this. He wants a race win. He feels like he can get it. Guedes behind him must feel he can still go for a race win here. Oh, and Justin has taken to defending, and in fact he must have hit the gravel. I missed that. He's hit the gravel. Oh, and Guedes and Justin Welbler door-to-door contact. Justin gets back in front of Guedes, and Jeff Perkis is now alongside, but Guedes denies him. But back, well, not back into the lead for the first time today. Chris Needham, has he just denied Justin Welbler a very, very triumphant victory? It would have been. Still some time to go. There would be about 2 laps remaining. Oh, it might not be. There might only be 1 lap remaining. In fact, yes, there will be. After this, there will be only 1 lap remaining. And look at all these cars. They've batched up a little bit. It's now a battle, a 7-way battle for the lead as we're about to start the final lap here at Zolder. Needham, nice and neat through the chicane. Nerves will be jangling a little bit on this final lap. Justin had a pretty good run coming out of the chicane there. They started the final lap. Where's Justin gone? Justin's had a disconnection. Or a disqualification. That might have been instant points that caused that. Justin Welbler's out of the race. It literally just happened on the straight there. It might have been a little bit of contact or something. But Justin, who was battling for the lead, has been DQ'd on the final lap. Oh, poor fella. At some point I'm going to have to pick a driver of the day. I just remembered. Oh, I don't know who to pick. But Chris Needham, all he needs to do is hook these corners up, and he's just gone wide at the bus. Not the bus stop, the clean chicane there. And look how close Guedes is getting to him. Guedes has just seen an opportunity. He will try and go for it. Oh no, he's hit Guedes. He's hit Needham off the track. Guedes getting a bit excited late on the brakes there. He's just cost Needham a potential win. Guedes will take the lead as a result. Well, the stewards are going to be busy after this. William Fall is in second place. He saw his opportunity to get into the lead. Arnaldo Guedes leads coming into the final corner. This will be provisional. Of course it will, due to potential penalties. Whereas Needham is down in 9th place, sadly for him. Here goes William Fall. Will he go for the move? He will not, and it will all batch up a little bit. Guedes leads coming out the final corner. Guedes wins race 3. His first win of the season, his first win for NXTGEN. William Fall comes through in second. Matthew Addy, his first podium for in NXTGEN racing. Big congratulations to him. I feel like these results are going to be pending post-race reviews. But wow, what drama we've just seen. Jamie Dory came through in 4th place with Sarai Gurunyan in 5th. Ben Walker and Lee Horne managed 7th and 8th in the end, with the demise of Needham, who came through 9th in the end. He'll be gutted. He'll be absolutely gutted. He worked so hard to get it into 1st place past Justin Welbler. Justin was unlucky as well with the disconnection. I don't know what was worse. George Russell's Bahrain Sakia Grand Prix, or Chris Needham's round 4 in NXTGEN, and Justin Welbler's. Oh dear. Well, it's a bit of a dark cloud over Zolder right now, but we have seen some pretty exciting racing tonight. And the championship leader coming out of this will probably be Ben, or it probably still will be Gurunyan, actually. It'd be very close between Zariah and Ben, in fact. But we'll find out next week, of course, at Autodrome Most. As I said, it's not the most popular track in the world, but it is great for touring car racing. You won't want to miss it. But do tune in around about 8 o'clock UK time, 8 PM that is, so 2000 hours next week. As we're waiting for the results to come in. Now, my driver of the day, I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to give it to Justin Wellbluff. Yeah, I feel he deserves it. He drove a strong race, and it was only luck that let him down in the dying moments of that race. It was nothing he could have done. But yeah, my driver of the day is going to Justin Wellbluff. It's not a pity vote at all. No, it isn't, because I could have given it to Chris Needham. But Justin was brilliant in race 1, brilliant in race 2, and brilliant coming through the pack in race 3, and nearly won the race. Was probably denied a race win. But your winner, Arnaldo Guedes. Through a little bit of drama, but we'll see what happens. But there we go. There's your standings. Guedes wins the race. Fraser Austin gets fast slap, who finished 6th. William Fall in 2nd, with Matthew Addy his first podium in 3rd. Jamie Dorian 4th, with Zariah Gurunyan in 5th. Fraser Austin 6th, with Ben Walker in 7th. Lee Horne in 8th. Needham in 9th. Plummer in 10th. Pedersen 11th. Hilgren in 12th. Ward in 13th, Haddington 14th, De Gravelia, hometown hero, in 15th, Nielsen in 16th, and non-finishers Neil Crave, Jeff Perkis, Justin Wellbeloved, Arnold Chenonier, August Agan. Well, we've seen a pretty dramatic race 3 there. I don't know what to say about that, really. But yeah, that's been round 4. At Zolder. Do tune in next week for Autodrome Most. Round 5. It's, I keep saying it, it's a real good track. You do not want to miss it. But your race winners tonight were Ben Walker, Zariah Gurunyan, and Arnaldo Guedes. I've been Alex Everett, your commentator for tonight. Thank you to NXTGEN for hosting the races, and Lee Horne, of course. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next week at the Autodrome Most. Thank you.